Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on with him?
Can you breathe, Freddie?
Yeah. You're gonna have to go to Halifax by hand.
I agree.
Probably fucking don't do nothing up there neither.
My leg is locked.
Are you breathing?
What leg?
Oh my God. Oh. Dad.
Well,
You're gonna have to... Your blood pressure is good.
How you doing, Fred?
Scared me.
Yeah, I understand that, man. Sounds like it's, or looks like you're kind of coming down a little bit, which is good. I'm going to put a bunch of stickers on you and take a good look at your heart, okay? Make sure that's all good. Is anything being coughed up when you cough there? Or is it dry?
I don't know, bro.
No.
I couldn't fucking breathe, man. I thought I was dead.
Yep, no problem. How old are you, Fred?
39.
39.
You got this on in there?
Yep, they're good.
I don't know if we're going to see much of the water right at that.
Yeah. Looks regular though, at least.
It's the quick ones that really hurt because it tenses up and water's so quick. Even my abs didn't hurt. Can't fucking breathe. And, oh my God. I got the Moderna shot May 25th, and I actually took the immediate reaction in Shoppers Drug Mart, and they had to call an ambulance. But that consisted of my feet went cold and tingly, and I thought maybe it was just kind of the way I was sitting on them or sitting in the chair, and it rose up my legs, and then it kind of went into my stomach area, and I got really squamish. And then I got really kind of like dizzy, and my head went tingly, and my limbs went all pins and needles like asleep. And then I couldn't lift my left arm or my left leg, and I felt like somebody literally took my lungs and twisted them, and I couldn't breathe. So they called the ambulance, and the ambulance come in, and they were looking for little red dots, they said. They were lifting up my shirt and stuff. And so I guess about 45 minutes into that, we were talking, they were assessing me, and then they took me out to the ambulance, and I had to sign a release waiver because I felt, you know, better by this time. It's about an hour in, and I only had a little bit of like tingles in the top of my head. So I signed a release waiver, and my buddy was waiting in the truck for me actually, and I didn't get a couple pole lengths down the road, and it happened again. I couldn't breathe. So he got me home and made sure I was okay and such. After about 2 hours, we were pulled over for about 2 hours, I guess. And then the next day when I woke up, I was just totally drained. I was totally drained. The best way to describe it is if you had cancer and went through 100 chemo treatments. Just gross. So I get up totally fatigued, a lot of pins and needles in my limbs. And I noticed my heart started palpitating, like it was beating odd and fast at times. So I called my fiance, and she came in with me. And that evening, I actually collapsed and I stopped breathing on the patio. I fell through the door and landed on the step and stopped breathing. She called 911. So I was admitted that night. They said my heart was a major AFib. It was just beating rapid and crazy out of my chest. So the doctor, outpatient's doctor, came in. I told him what was going on. I said I was vaccinated. I think it was a reaction to the vaccine because the day prior I took the immediate reaction to it. And he kind of just brushed it off, like rolled his eyes more or less, and he left. I never seen that doctor no more. He didn't come back in. He didn't tell me what was going on. One heart specialist doctor came in and he said, let's just worry about your heart rate now and nothing else, more or less. He didn't want to hear about the vaccine or what happened. So after that, 2 or 3 days later, I had a heart loop monitor put in my chest to monitor my heart. And I noticed I'm starting to get a lot worse. Like the numbness and the tingles were constant. I couldn't think straight. My anxiety was through the roof. I couldn't read. I couldn't do nothing. So with that, my legs and my calf muscles started like tremoring, jolting, and they would lock, pulsate and lock, and the pain from it was just tremendous. So when I tried to walk with that, my legs would literally vibrate, so it was keeping me from walking proper. One leg it started in, and then about 4 or 5 days later, 2 legs. Then I couldn't walk. So with that, I was dealing with that, and then in the nights, I was starting to wake up, and I couldn't breathe. Like, the best way to explain is, it felt like somebody was literally sitting on my chest and pushing on it. Like, I was trying to breathe, but I couldn't. Then, like, I went paralyzed, literally. I couldn't move probably 2 hours. So with that, my fiance called. When I stopped breathing, she called the ambulance. The ambulance came, same guys for my heart, actually. And I told them what was kind of going on. You know, I said, I didn't get really any medical attention, like, what's going on? He said, I shouldn't be telling you this, but don't mention nothing about the vaccines, and you will be treated and looked at. So I went 3 weeks with not being able to walk, basically, hobbling around, basically a heart attack, well, major AFib. 14 seizures now to date. Partial paralysis, once for 7 hours, once for 3 or 4 hours. I went paralyzed 3 times. And, like, just the brain fog and all your other symptoms. But now I'll find I'm laying in bed and I'll feel like I'm burning up from the inside, and my eyes and my mouth go extremely dry, and the breathing is so shallow. Like, I really shallow breathe, so it's scary. Like, I'm traumatized, my fiance's traumatized, my kids are traumatized. It's
What?
the sun on
On the water?
water. Very, very hard. Look at me. And please, please, stop doing this to people. Please.